Shalom, shalom. Let me just, you already know, make sure this thing is working. All right. All right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all glory, praise, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Kakwadash. All right, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and much love, honors and salutations to the elect that retain their integrity, standing firm for Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai's sake, for salvation. All right, this is Yaakov Wall, and I want to go into a little topic real quick. To be honest, was just watching a movie, but there was a wise saying or quote or sentence that was just stated, and it just made me think, for more edificational purposes, and to just, in all be more wise about what you do, decided to make this, right off the rip, man. So I got a few scriptures, all right, but this really is aimed towards the title. If we're angry, we're hysterical. If we're emotional, we're weak, and so forth. During this time, man, during the time, of salvation, during the approaching end of this paradigm that we live in, this wicked society under the rule of a wicked man, all right, the good people are viewed as crazy. And I'm going to say this right now. I'm going to say this right off the rip. If we're crazy, the only way that the elect are crazy, I'll say this, the only way that the believers on the Bible of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, the true understanding, the only way that they're crazy is if this stuff does not come to pass. And we've been seeing daily for a long time these things coming to pass that the scripture spoke about. Okay, so that's strike one for the world. Okay, but this whole premise of this lesson was, to be learning how to be abased and abound. All right, Paul said it the best. All right, and especially in this time, believers of truth become a prey, but yet they're always being watched in everything they do, because this world is contrary to the men of truth, to the believers of truth. All right, because even these actual other doctrines and other people, man, they're seen as crazy, which they are, but there's one true truth, and that's the doctrine of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. And I was going to fit that in, man, because that's what keeps a man from involving his personal emotion when he has to make a decision. All right, and I'll get it because, again, I've said this before. It's one of my favorite scriptures. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, all right, gave us a way on how to establish judgment without letting personal emotion get in the way. Okay, this is Ezekiel chapter 44 and 23. It says, "And they shall teach my people the difference between the holy and profane, and cause them to discern between the unclean and the and they shall cause them to discern between the unclean and the clean." So we were supposed to be taught first how to identify what's right and what's wrong, right? But then it says, but in controversy, so when there's a decision you got to make, and it's obviously above what you're supposed to do this. It says, in controversy, they shall stand in judgment, and they shall judge it. Okay, they shall judge it according to my judgments, and they shall keep my laws and my statutes in all mine assemblies, and they shall hallow my Sabbaths. So that is how you put proper discernment, and you make proper decisions or right decisions without involving your personal thoughts. Because when it comes to actually, when someone commits an act, there's a consequence towards it. And I don't know, consequence can be used interchangeably to being good or bad, but that's essentially what it is. All right, every action has a reaction. If I'm not trying to sound all eloquent, but you get what I'm saying. There's a meat back action, and that action, all right, is comprised of many things. Okay, so when you commit an action, you got to be careful that it's, first of all, that it's proper, it's righteous, and then two, you got to make sure, because the scriptures say, man, in 1 Corinthians, that all things are lawful, yet not all things are expedient. Okay, because again, especially in this time, man, we're under fire every day. We got the world viewing us, hoping that we're going to trip up or slip up, And it just gives them more of a reason to mock at this truth, ultimately try to mock Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Even though that's a horrible thing to do, and that's the stupidest thing you can do, but that ain't gonna stop wicked people. They're going to again mock, scoff, all right, demean, berate, condescend the Lord, and ultimately it just gives the Lord a bad image. Even though the Lord is coming back and he's going to justify his elect, he's going to justify the himself, doesn't mean it's going to stop the wicked from doing what they're doing. So I want to get a couple of scriptures just to show more that that's why we want to walk with the best of your ability to in the end have a good report. Okay, but there was an example in Jeremiah. Jeremiah was you already look at the book of Jeremiah, and from the very get-go, Jeremiah was preaching destruction, and even before the time of Jeremiah, even before they went into the captivity of Babylon under Nebuchadnezzar, all right, our people Israel were going off, okay, and so Jeremiah became a prophet of no peace, because even the scripture said, man, Jeremiah said, pray not for these people, all right, and it even said that instead of peace, you would be having evil. So Jeremiah, man, was preaching the hard things, and nobody wants to hear that, okay? Nobody wants to hear the destruction coming to them, or that their place is going to, their lot is going to be taken away. But Jeremiah had been preaching, and then there was a priest who was also a chief governor of the house of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, right, of Israel. But his name was Pasher, and he locked Jeremiah up because of everything he was saying. And it got to a point where it said, let's see, Jeremiah was told that the people were looking for him to fall, okay? And they were looking at every aspect. They were watching him full-on hardcore 24/7 because they were hoping that one day, the sayings that he was speaking when it come to pass. Ultimately, why they despised Jeremiah. And that's ultimately why they locked him out, or why they were rebuking, or not rebuking, they were persecuting them and reviling them. All right. But Jeremiah 20:10 says, For I heard the defaming of many, fear on every side. Report, say they, and we will report it. All my familiars watched from my halting, saying, peradventure he will be enticed, and we shall prevail against him, and we shall take our revenge on him. See, they were watching Jeremiah. All right, the men of the Lord, the prophets, were the most watched people on the planet, because when a prophet came through, it was never, the scriptures, Samuel, when Samuel came in to try to go to find Saul, all right, the first king of Israel, the man greeted him at the entering of the city, and they were like, "Have you come to bring news of peace, or have you come in peace, basically, or destruction?" Because anytime a watcher, which is also AKA a seer, AKA a prophet, anytime they came through into a city, people knew like, oh shit, fuck, so they would ask the men of the Lord, like, have you come in peace, or are you coming to preach destruction to us? And in this case with Jeremiah, and in the case of today, we're preaching evil to the world, okay, because everything that this world does is contrary to the ways of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. So the Lord said, what the Lord did was he sent out his prophets, his men of the Lord, all right, and he told them to preach certain things. What was that in Jeremiah? What is that, 28:8? All right, Jeremiah 28. This is Jeremiah 28:8. It says, the prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms, of war and of evil and of pestilence. Now, it said the prophet which prophesied of peace, when the word of the prophet shall come to pass, then shall the prophet be known that the Lord hath truly sent him. We're also preaching peace. We're preaching the destruction of this wicked society. We're preaching the up and coming restoration of Israel, of Yasha'Allah forever. We're preaching the destruction of the wicked. We're preaching the renewing of the rest of Yasha'Allah's minds. But their minds are obscured today. They're cankered. They're corrupted, and they don't want what we're telling them. Okay, so what they do, and what any simp does, is they think that by backbiting, talking shit, murmuring, scoffing, laughing, mocking, they think that all these will somehow, negate the return of Yahweh Hashem Yashar, or negate any information that man brought out when he was doing whatever he was doing, so, which is not the case. So they're watching us 24/7. These people that you walk around, man, they're looking, even if they don't even know what's going on, they still look at you, man, like you're weird, and they'll bring the most hardest accusations on you possible, man. They'll make it, again, it ain't just, this man wasn't just angry, he was hysterically angry. Man, he was emotional, man. He was just being fucking way emotional. He was way off. He was going far. It's never just something normal with the men of the Lord. Oh man, in fact, when me and this brother back in Texas started preaching, within the first I don't even know. It was early in the ministry that this brother and I back in Texas started. But whereas one point in time we posted up against this building, and it had been shut down for a long time, and then they put boards on the walls, on the windows, brand new boards, nothing at all on these boards, no writing, nobody had came through already yet. It was putting marking up what is it, tagging up the place, okay, but we actually got a call. The police were called on us and said that we were tagging up the place, we were vandalizing the place. There wasn't, and the cop pulled up and goes, yeah, man, we just got a call that y'all were, vandalizing the walls. And the brother and I looked at each other. We looked behind us, like, we started laughing too. The cop started laughing too. He goes, all right, man, all right. I know what it is. We know why they're calling on you. It's cool, But these people are watching us, man, 24/7. And even if you're not doing anything, man, they're still trying to find a way to accuse you, which is why which is why we got to walk. The scripture says circumspectly. Walk ye circumspectly, not as fool, but as wise, redeeming the times, for they are evil. The people that we live amongst, man, are evil, and they're obscure. Their minds are heavily obscured. Okay, so when it comes to hearing this truth, they'll find any reason, man, to try to get us locked up, any reason to try to get us to go off. To them, we're hysterical 24/7. To them, we're emotional. We're far beyond being emotional 24/7. So that's why when you do things, man, it's best to walk wisely among this perverse and crooked generation, like the scriptures say. All right? And let me actually get that. All right, it should be, I think, in Ephesians. This is Philippians. It's Philippians 2:15. It says that you may be blameless and harmless, the sons of Yahweh. Hey, man, there are a lot of things Jake is allowed to do that is looked looked down upon today in this society. What's considered taboo. In this time, man, Esau prevents Jake from really living. Okay, so anytime a Jake, gets upset, that's him being what do you call it? You got these wife beater shirts on. That he's an abuser. If he gets angry, he's an abuser. If he gets emotional, he's a bitch. If he stands up for the right thing, he's a snitch. In this time, man, we can't even be real Israelites, because this fucking devil, Esau, the so-called white man, all right, he'll look at you and he'll accuse you of being, a fucking terrorist if you get upset. Okay? So it says, that's why, again, that you may be blameless and harmless, the sons of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, without rebuke, in the midst of a crooked and perverse nation. Now, it's very hard to do that, especially when, even if you did something right. There was a while back, when I was in San Angelo, man, in Texas, I remember I spoke about this dude who he caught his wife committing adultery in his bed, and he beat the dude's ass. And I can't remember what he did to the woman. I don't even know if he did anything, but he beat the dude's ass. And guess what? He went to jail. He went to fucking jail. And that dude who got his ass beat continued to fuck his wife. That ain't right, man. But if you tell someone today, man, if you tell particularly these women, if you tell a woman that the penalty for adultery was death, they'll hate you. That's in the old time, man. So it is hard to walk, blameless in a crooked and perverse generation. And at the end of the day, the Lord justifies the elect. But you know what? We can still maneuver to the best of our ability. I was thinking about this earlier, man. The elect, the brotherhood, man, we walk amongst these people, and they don't say shit to us. when we're doing our own business and this and that. But the second you do something, man, you're targeted as like a villain, because again, it has to go between that good and evil, man. They're watching. These demons are watching. And when you want to act out and you want to become basically consumed by Yahweh Shem Yahushai, if you react in an unwise manner, them demons will bubble up out of that body. Whoever sees you doing whatever you're doing, another Karen will come along and get your ass. You go to jail. So again, that's why we have to be blameless and harmless, the sons of the Most High, without rebuke, in the midst of a crooked and perverse nation, among whom ye shine as lights in the world. And that's another thing. We are those lights in this dark shadow of death. So if you're the only one with a flashlight and there ain't nothing but wickedness and evil out in front of you, how easy you think it is to spot you. You have that light. Okay? You are you're that candle walking in the perverse and crooked and dark generation. So it's going to be easy for someone to spot that light. Okay? Ultimately, they may not even know, but ultimately at the end of the day, it's a demons versus the angels type of scenario. You're the angel and they're the demons. But it says, let's see. I'll read it again. Philippians 2:15, that you may be blameless and harmless, the sons of the Most High, without rebuke, in the midst of a crooked and perverse nation, among whom you shine as lights in the world. Because again, man, we're constantly being watched. So without involved, again, if we're angry, we're hysterical. If we're emotional, we're weak. All right. At the end of the day, the Lord justifies us, man. But we gotta, be a base and a bound. Okay. Actually, you know what? I had one. Paul said it in 1 Corinthians 9:22. It says, "To the weak became I as weak, that I might gain the weak. I made all things to all men, that I might by all means say something." Sometimes you gotta, be like a chameleon. You gotta sometimes you gotta take the L. Being a chameleon, blending in requires you to take the L sometimes. You may see, the scriptures say, man, if an evil be done in the city, marvel not. Sometimes you just gotta observe what's going on and understand it's wicked, but you can't have no input in it, man. The scriptures do say, how does it go? Basically, like, to not be entangled in another man's affairs, least I'll also be found guilty. Least I'll also become as him, basically. Crafty, Khan, right? Yeah, and I was going to say that from the very beginning, ate the water, man, because I totally missed the main point of what I was making this lesson for, man. We're not here in this time to be angry. All right, we're not here in this time to be emotional. All right, when you go into 2nd Ezra, the 7th chapter, it tells you that we were put here to learn the difference between good and evil. We were also, but ultimately now we're here to wake up the elect by Yahweh Shem Yahushai, referring to, I believe, is it Isaiah 66? Is it 65 or 66? Let me go ahead and get that. Let me go ahead and look. Isaiah 66 and 2, it says, "For all those things have my hand made, and all those things have been, saith the Lord, but to this man will I look, even to him that is born of a contrite spirit and trembleth at my word." So, the Lord is using us to awake the rest of the elect, even though it's true ultimately Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Point being, we're not here to get ourselves involved in all these situations or to indulge in what this earth has to offer right now. All right, we're just passing through. All right, so we got to be wise. All right, there's movies out there, man, that can exemplify or give an example or show, how we're supposed to be doing this. You got the movies, one in particular, I can't think of the name, but they're walking in the dark. All right, and they can't see nothing around them. I can't remember what movie it was, but there were things on the outside of their path that was taking all the people off the path, scraping them off and killing them. And all they had to do was just keep on walking. All right, our job is just to keep on walking, man. And though you hear all that shit on the right and the left, man, you ain't supposed to give into it. All right, because if it does take you away, man, hey, it'll take you away. You'll fall out. We're here to wake up the elect and be found blameless amongst a wicked, perverse generation that ultimately is going to be destroyed. Ultimately, their words ain't going to have no effect, or their accusations ain't going to do nothing. But, we're just getting through. We're just passing through. But doesn't mean that they can't see us. Doesn't mean the wicked can't see us. All right. Let's see. I had another one. 1 Timothy chapter 3 and 7. It said, moreover, you know what? Let me get it on blue letter. This is 1 Timothy 3. 1 Timothy 3 and 7. And this is to fulfill the office, basically to be a man of the Lord. It says, moreover, he must have a good report of them which are without, lest he fall into reproach and the snare of the devil. Again, it says you must have a good report. All right. And this time, man, you ain't going to have a good report. Now, Esau, man, in particular, is definitely watching us. And he's definitely got things on us that he's going to try to bring out in those last days to be like, this ain't no man of the Lord. Look what he was into. Or look what he was doing. You might have had a relapse, brothers have made comments, man. Like, there may be a brother who was watching a shitload of porn, man, and Eve pulls him up doing something. You know what I'm saying? Who knows? Just saying, like, at the end of the day, that ain't going to do nothing. So fucking what, man? And Eve is responsible for everything that's going on here. Esau, the so-called white man, he made Israel the way that they are today now. That's why you got the accuser of thy brethren. He wants to accuse us and be like, see, that ain't what you talked about, But that's why we got to walk with that mentality, man. We got to walk as though, hey, well, 2 Corinthians said it, man. I hope I can do this. Slack it. Let me just. Is it evil report? I think the 2 Corinthians chapter 6. Yeah, right here in 2 Corinthians 6, and I'll start at 6 and 3. It says 2 Corinthians 6 and 3, giving no offense in anything, that the ministry be not blamed, because you know what, man, it makes the Lord look bad. The scriptures do say, and forgive me for not being able to find it, but it does talk about how we shoot Yahweh Bashim Yahshua openly daily. It's a little bit different, a little roughly paraphrasing, but we show the image of Yahweh Shai daily, because we are co-heirs. We are claiming that we follow him and we believe on him and that we represent him, right? So these people want to be like, well, hey, that ain't a follower, Jesus Christ. He was, doing this, doing that. He had 2 girlfriends. That's why the scriptures say, man, all things are lawful yet not expedient. Depending on where you're located, man, people don't give a shit, man. But most people, they're eavesdroppers or brown nosers, man. I was watching. I streamed a live session I did with a brother over there in Milwaukee earlier in the week, and he had brought a comment of shoot, how did it go? I can't even remember, man. But it had to link up with what I'm saying. So slack it. That left my train of thought. But the whole point is that, we just got to be careful in what we do. Okay? Because you don't want the image to look bad. All right? Even though Yahweh Shai is perfect and he's justified and the elect are justified, it doesn't give us no means to go out there and be belligerent, decadent. All right? Well, because indulging in your own lust, man, will only cause you to be morally incorrect or improper, which is why the scriptures say abstain from worldly and fleshly lust. Okay, we got a job to do right now, man. We're here to wake up the elect and get out of here. But it says again, 2 Corinthians 6 and 3 says, giving no offense in anything, that the ministry be not blamed, but in all things approving ourselves as the ministers of the Most High, in much patience, in afflictions, in necessities, in distresses, in stripes, imprisonments, and tumults, in labors, in watchings, in fastings. It says, by pureness, by knowledge, by long suffering, by kindness, by the Holy Spirit, by love and fame. And here's the main part: by the word of truth, by the power of the Most High, by the armor of righteousness on the right hand and on the left. Salaki, this is the main part. By honor and dishonor, by evil report and good report. Because again, man, this world's gonna do anything possible to lay an accusation to you, man, or to sully your name, all right, or to tarnish your reputation, all right. At the end of the day, like I just read in verse 5, in stripes and in imprisonments and afflictions and distresses, hey man, that comes with it, all right, that comes with it, you know. But what I'm speaking about, man, is basically you just don't want to be caught with your pants down, you know. If you're doing something, man, you got to be wise, okay? Jake has their things, all right? We all have our own things, man. But if it's getting in the way of this truth, of this ministry, if it's bringing a bad name to this thing, man, then you got to, fix it up, tighten it up. It says by honor and dishonor, by evil report and good report. And our job is to do what? To have a good report. The 2/3 and the rest of this world, man, they're going to talk shit, man. They're going to bring out lies, man. And I bet you anything, man, whoever's, watching, I bet you've had a sufficient amount of lies told about you, man. Okay? I can attest to that, man. I can definitely attest to that, man. But we got to walk, again, circumspectly. It says, as unknown and yet well known. And we are well known, man. This truth is like a moth to a flame, man. Once people know that you got this knowledge, they'll be watching. They'll be watching your every motherfucking move. You don't eat pork, man. I had to deal with personally, man. I can give you a good example with my step grandfather, man. Dude hated that I didn't eat pork. When I first was coming into this thing, man, back in like late 2009, he hated that I did not eat pork, and he would actually pick fights with me. Okay, and he didn't even know. All he really knew was that I just didn't eat pork anymore. And he would actually get up from his room when I'm minding my own business. And he'd come in and he'd pick a fucking fight. He tried to bring out the prodigal son on me, man. I was like, man, at once he knew that I didn't believe in certain things anymore, and I didn't indulge in certain things that Israel did. I was an open target, man. So and then ever since that day too, even my whole family, man, and I'm pretty sure y'all's families, if you don't. Personally with me, I'll say me personally, I don't get along with my step family, especially because they know I do this, and they know to a certain extent, what my views are. But my whole family all my relatives hate me, man, because they know what I'm about. They and to that very day, they still hold me as a thief, as a liar, as an adulterer, insane. And like I said, man, the only way we're insane and crazy is if this truth is not real. And it's been making itself known that it's real. If these things don't come to pass, yeah, then we're crazy. But you know what? They've been happening. So it says, as unknown and yet well known, as dying and behold we live, as chastened and not killed. And now there's another scripture. Is it? Yeah, it's right here. Salaka, never mind. It's Wisdom of Solomon. This is Wisdom of Solomon 2, and this is Wisdom of Solomon 2 and 10. It says, let us oppress the poor righteous man. Let us not spare the widow, nor reverence the ancient gray hairs of the aged. Let our strength be the law of justice, for that which is feeble is found to be nothing worth. See, like I said, when you come into this, when you acknowledge, man, that you're part of this truth, you're now an enemy to the ungodly, and the whole world is ungodly. All right, when you go into 1 John 5:19, it says that we know that we are the children of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, but that the whole world lieth in wickedness. So wickedness hates righteousness. Righteousness hates wickedness. Okay, but who is this world under right now? Who is this world under the control of? The ungodly and wicked. So they say, let us oppress the poor righteous man. Let us not spare the widow, nor reverence the ancient gray hairs of the aged. Let our strength be the law of justice, for that which is feeble is found to be nothing worth. Salaki, let me. I'll read that real quick. Isaiah 59:15. Yea, truth faileth, and he that departed from evil maketh himself a prey. And that just shows you that we're being even more watched, even more. And it says, and the Lord saw it, and it displeased him that there was no judgment. Right. Like I said from the beginning too, man. Like that's why when we do things, we walk with the judgments of Yahweh B'Shem Yashai, no emotion with it. Okay. But yeah, we make ourselves a prey. We become all things to this world, man. Once you acknowledge you're this truth, man, you're a terrorist, you're a liar, you're a thief, you're a sneaky motherfucker, you know. Yeah, man. Wisdom of Solomon 2:12, it says, therefore let us lie in wait for the righteous, because he is not for our turn, and he is clean contrary to our doings. He upbraideth us with our offending the law. So that gives the wicked an even more reason for them to watch. Really, what people do when they're wicked is they're actually watching to see when they're going to be taken out. Because a lot of wicked people, man, they know really your spirit convicts you, man, that you're actually going off. So wickedness always has this like lingering watching eye, man. They're always watching because they're afraid they're going to get taken out. And so when a wicked man comes and sees like, oh, that person's going to tell me I'm doing wrong, they already know, man, like, shit, I'm going to be destroyed. Just like what happened with Jeremiah, man. Jeremiah came with nothing but evil tidings, basically, you know, and the people weren't having it. So what they do, they locked his ass up. And then that priest, Pashur, beat him. And then the priest told him, like, we're watching you, man. We're watching to make you slip. We're seeing if you're gonna fall. You know, we're hoping that you become seduced. And that's what this world wants too, man. They want us. There was actually a comment my stepmother made to me, man, back in like 2014, 2015. I went to go take my ex-wife for a beer, and you know, I had my son, and we were just chilling, enjoying. And my mother called and she made this fucking comment for no reason. She goes, well, you know, she said my government name, and she's like, hey, something about like celebrating a holiday with them. And I was like, no, man. I was like, you already know I don't. And she's like, well, you know, so you and your wife and your son are the only three people in the world that believe what you believe. I was like, damn, like really? Really? So yeah, man. I mean, like when it comes to this truth, man, hey man, we're crazies, we're insane. All right. You just got to get past it. All right. But you yourself also have a job to do, which is to wake up the elect, push this gospel out, spread the gospel. Well, ultimately, how about Shemeshai is going to wake the elect, but by the men of the Lord, the prophets, you know, he also sends them out to rise them up, rise our nation up. But our job is to observe what's going on so that when we get to the kingdom, we can truly appreciate what the Lord is going to do for us. All right. Because this is all a balance. We never knew what evil was until we came into this condition. So the Lord is showing you what it's like to live in an evil place. So when he gets us out of here, man, we're going to always appreciate righteousness and never want to come to we're never going to want to listen to something that will ultimately, bring Israel back to a detrimental position. All right. So Wisdom of Solomon again, 2:12, it says, therefore, let us lie in wait for the righteous, because he is not for our turn, and he is clean contrary to our doings. He upbraided us with our offending the law, and objected to our infamy, the transgressings of our education. He professed to have the knowledge of the Most High, and he called himself the child of the Lord. But the Agali they're basically talking shit right now. They're like, he calling himself a man, but I don't think he is. And you know what's funny, man? Every single person in this world thinks they're chosen, thinks that they're somehow godly or a goddess, you know? All the shit that these people bring out, man. And I was watching The Big Bang Theory, and there was an episode where that Kayla Kuko, she took Sheldon out to a date, and the girl that Sheldon was on the date with was like, do you consider yourself a slut? Because Sheldon had brought out that she's had like 170 partners, and Kayla Kuko and her part, after she was asked, do you believe yourself to be a slut? She goes, no, but you can still say no no matter what. Even if if a woman slept with 500 men, she'll never still, condemn herself. She'll always be justified. Same thing with men. A man can, steal a bunch of men's women, and he'll never call himself an adulterer. This place is fucked up and turned upside down, man. But when it comes to a man of the Lord, man, you find me with more than one woman. I only have 2 women, just 2. Let's make it simple. If you were to find a man of the Lord with 2 women, if you run into him like, oh, that's your, okay, cool. And then you run into him a week later. Wait a minute, is that another, if a 2/3 or a guy or an ungodly person sees that, we're the worst. We're public enemy number 1. This place is perverse, man. And I'll read this again in Isaiah 59:15. It says, "Yea, truth faileth, and he that departed from evil maketh himself a prey." And this is the part I wanted to get. And the Lord saw it, and it displeased him that there was no judgment. See, this shit pisses the Lord off, man. And it pisses us off. Because here we are, we're doing what we're supposed to be doing, right? Yahweh Bashim Yashai's elect, they're doing what they're supposed to be doing, yet they're enemies. Yet they're the craziest people on the planet. Well, the scriptures say that we're basically the shit of the world. All right? It's just funny, man, like how this world can do so much evil, and yet still point the finger at the elect, Well, I was reading in Wisdom of Solomon, we're actually seeing as counterfeits, I'll go back to it. But this is 1 Corinthians 4 and 9. It says, "For I think that the Most High has set forth us the apostles last, as it were appointed to death. For we are made a spectacle unto the world." See, man, we're an entertainment to these people, man. Because really the evil in them is like, man, you ain't gonna never wake this place up. You ain't never gonna change nothing. Just like how the world sits in no change, because their condition is the whole purpose of what's going on now, man, is to keep Jake in the shit that they're in right now perpetually. Esau wants to keep us in this condition forever. So they're laughing and looking at us. Really, it's the demon in them looking like, man, you ain't doing nothing, man. You ain't gonna wake up this soul. You ain't gonna do shit. But that's why we look as a spectacle, man. In fact, I'll go ahead and look it up. Oh shit, Salaka, man. Salaka. I'll go ahead and look this up, man. But it says again, as it were appointed for death, for we are made a spectacle unto the world, and to angels, and to men. I'll type in spectacle. All right, the word spectacle, which is, it says 3. I didn't know it said theatron. Theatron? Okay. Well, it says a man who is exhibited to be gazed at and made sport of. A place for public show. All right. All right. So, like I said, we're the entertainment of the world, man. We're looked at like a gazing stock, like a zoo. We're there for the entertainment and and once that animal does something wrong, what do? Put it to death. I watched a clip last night on YouTube, just for some reason it was recommended. A bear got loose in like California, I think. I don't even know how long ago it was. I don't even know if it was recent. And they shot the bear. I mean, you don't think the bear was trying to defend himself, just like we're doing, just like the elect we're doing? We're defending ourselves. We're defending our power. And you want to come over here and shoot us or kill us or defame us because we're speaking about actually what's right. So, yeah, man. But we become a spectacle because of that. It says, "For we are fools for Christ's sake." Salakia. "For we are fools for Hamashiach's sake." All right, 1 Corinthians 4 and 10. "For we are fools for Hamashiach's sake, but you are wise in Hamashiach. We are weak, but we are strong. You are honorable, but we are despised." See, all these accusations that the world has to say against us, man, it ain't true. Like I said, man, we're angry. We're fucking crazy. If I show even the littlest amount of anger, man. Well, what was this bitch ass dude's name? This fucking pastor that talked to Captain Cesariak. Some bitch, man. Fucking dude. He asked the question to Cesariak. He says, "Does making you angry mean you're a woman?" The fuck? So that's also how the world views it, man. If we're angry, we're not suited to have a woman. We are a woman, you know. Where we deserve to be locked up if we show any sign of disdain or, anger, irritation. When you deal with a woman, man, you ever see how quickly she'll fucking drop your ass if you show even a little bit of anger towards her? Even though that you already know that woman deserves that shit on her, man. All these women, man, every single goddamn woman deserves to be cussed out, man. But you show even the side of you lift the finger, motherfucker, don't, and she's out. This world has been, I don't even know what to call it, pussified and sissified, man. And I was thinking hardcore about the scripture the entire time, man. The entire time. This sums it all up. You can't do nothing in this ministry, man, without people trying to accuse you of something. But this lesson originally started out because to use as admonishment and guidance, because hey, man, it ain't wise to be having 3 bitches on your shoulder while you're walking in public. Just don't do it. If you got 3 women, see them 3 women separately, or however you do it. That's just an easy example, man. But if you got, I don't know, if there's other things you're into, be discreet about it. Okay, not saying you can't do it at times, but enjoy yourself. But look, man, this world is gonna find anything possible, man, to try to come against you. All right, they're gonna pull out campaigns on you, pull out history things on you. Just like with these political figures, man. What are they doing? They're trying to bring up old shit. Well, what's this dude, Andrew Homo? They're trying to bring up accusations of his sexual harassment. Now, I was thinking about it like, now the women are taken, and yeah, you obviously going off, you commit adultery. But was he going off 100%? Who knows? It ain't wrong for a man to want a woman. If you want to take her, he can take her if she's single. But then he has to pay a dowry, but are those customs upheld? No. But he's getting all this negative attention now. And the whole world looking down on him like, man, this guy's a pedophile. He ain't even touched no little girl, but he's a pedophile. He touched some girl's ass cheek, so he's a rapist. That's what they do. That's what this world does to us, man. If you kiss a girl in public, you just had sex with her, according to the world. But hey, man, it's just all about being wise. All right, let me go ahead and get that real quick, and I'll go back to 2 Corinthians. All right. All right, this is Ephesians 5. Let's see. I'm going to start because I want to start up a little bit. Ephesians 5 and 8, it says, For you were sometimes darkness, but now are you light in the world. And people expect you to hold on to that negative nature, man. I've been asked, you done believing what you believe in? I've been asked that by my family. They've actually asked, like, do you still believe in that what you believe? Why the fuck would I believe? This ain't no fad or trend. It's like this world expects you to be seduced and sucked back into it. And that's what we're fighting against. So when they see it, hey, man, oh, man, it's a spirit. Hold up. Check it out. This is the spirit, man. Watch this. This is 1 Peter 4:4. Wherein they think it strange that you run not with them to the same excess of riot, speaking evil of you. See, when you stop doing what they're doing, now that makes them look odd. That makes them look strange. Hey, man, I had this recently said to me, man, and this is not to say in a negative way, but someone said to me, hey, well, you did it, now you can't judge me. Hey, well, now once you stop doing it, now they look like they're the only ones doing it. They're weird for doing it, So, but this world thinks it's strange when we just stop doing what they were doing, when we stop running to the same excess of riot that they were doing. And that's what will cause them to want to, put out an evil report on us. But it says again, wherein they think it's strange that you run not with them to the same excess of riot, speaking evil of you, who shall give account to him that is ready to judge the quick and the dead. For this cause also was the gospel preached also to them that are dead, that they might be judged according to men in the flesh, but live according to the Most High in the Spirit. See, we are those men of the Spirit. Okay, we are put here, and you know why we did what we did in the past, man. You know why we had to live basically a filthy lifestyle before we came into the truth, so we could understand we can understand and really see we're not supposed to be living that way. That's why going back to Ephesians 5 and 8, it says, "For you were sometimes in darkness, but now are you light in the Lord." See, now you change your whole composure and conduct, and you walk the right way. And then whoever wants to grab on and see it, you'll tell them, "Hey, stop what you're doing, walk the right way." Now, if they're just totally demonic and evil, then yeah, they're gonna talk shit to you. That motherfucker's crazy now. You know, talk about you at your job, or if they work at their own job. I was being spoken about back in like 2010 or 11. My mother-in-law was talking shit about me in her church, and I heard about it. They were making jokes about me. Hey, more power to Yahweh Shem Yahshai. But you know, they'll do shit like that, man. But Ephesians 5 and 9 says, "For the fruit of the Spirit is in all goodness and righteousness and truth, proving what is acceptable unto the Lord." And at the end of the day, we already know, man, nothing can come against or hinder this truth. All right, the scriptures tell you, I believe in Galatians, that you can do nothing against the truth but for it. Okay? It says, "And have no fellowship with the unfruitful works of darkness, but rather reprove them. For it is a shame even to speak of those things which are done of them in secret. But all things that are reproved are made manifested by the light. For whatsoever doth make manifest is light. Wherefore he saith, Awake thou that sleepest, and arise from the dead, and Hamashiach shall give thee light," which is what we do, right? We tell these people to wake up, like, say, "Stop, man. You're doing some filthy shit, man." And your brain is so covered up and so hidden with shit that your reaction is just to fight against it. What's this? There's a saying, truth sounds like hate to people who hate truth, you know? But it says in Ephesians 5:15, See then that you walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise. All right? Again, see then that you walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the time, because the days are evil, and we live amongst a crooked and perverse generation. Okay? All right, Salaki, I'm going to read this one first. But it says, let me read this, and I'm going to read this one in Luke, though. Ephesians 5 and 17, "Wherefore be ye not unwise, but understanding what the will of the Lord is." And like I said from the beginning, all right, our job is to awake the elect. All right, usher in the destruction of this kingdom, and to wake up the elect and get to the new kingdom. So if you don't like that, man, oh fucking well, so be it. What can you do against the Most High in the end? This is Luke 10 and 16. It says, by Fisher turned Hunter Amos 9 and 11. Luke 10 and 16. "He that heareth you heareth me, and he that despiseth you despiseth me, and he that despiseth me despiseth him that sent me." Right? If you despise what we got to say, you ultimately despise the Most High. You having a problem with the Lord. There's another scripture. All right, in either 1st or 2nd Thessalonians. It's 1 Thessalonians. 1 Thessalonians 2 and 13. It says, Salaki, actually, you know what? I'm gonna go and I'm gonna start at 1 Thessalonians 2 and 10. It says, "Ye are witnesses, and the Most High also, how holily and justly and unblameably we behaved ourselves among you that believe." Their behavior. That's ultimately what gets you in a good standing with the Lord. You're behaving wisely. Even though you see what these other people are doing in the world, man, doesn't give you a right to, dip your toe into it, so to speak. All right, our job is to abstain from this, man. All right. Let me get that. This is Titus 2 and 12. Teaching us that denying ungodliness and worldly lusts, teaching us that denying ungodliness and worldly lusts, we should live soberly, righteously, and godly in this present world. Because we already know, man, or the wicked man will use anything against us. But it says in 1 Thessalonians 2:10, it says, "Ye are witnesses, and the Most High also, how holily and justly and unblameably we behaved ourselves among you that believed, as ye know how we exhorted and comforted and charged every one of you as a father doth his children, that you would walk worthy of the Most High, who had called you into his kingdom and glory." See, so just being wise about what you do, where your actions take you, is really the whole basis of this thing, man. Just keeping yourselves in check, keeping your emotions in check. And this is going to prove what this brother put up. It says, verse 13, "For this cause also thank we the Most High without ceasing, because when you received the word of the Most High, which you heard of us, you received it not as the word of men, but as it is in truth." All right, the word of the Most High, which effectually worketh also in you that believe. And so when you looking at us, man, you're trying to lay an accusation to the elect, man, you're really trying to accuse the Lord. Because believe it or not, man, everything that this world has taught you that's wrong or looked down upon or this and that, well, half and half. Because a lot of the shit that is looked down upon still is wrong, but there is stuff, that is looked down upon that you're actually allowed to do. Like drinking. I'll say drinking. Having get-togethers. Having more than one woman for men. Single women. All right? Shoot. I can't think of anything else. But these three things, man. Partying, getting drunk, having women. Those are the most looked down things upon in the earth, man, on a man. But those are lawful. You're allowed to drink moderately. All right. You're allowed to have get-togethers, loud ruckuses together with each other. That's all about being wise. Man, Esau expects everybody just to shut the fuck up and be quiet, sit in their house and do nothing, man. Because Esau's a tyrant. And then a man having more than one woman. The world definitely hates that stuff, man. All right? The world looks down upon what they call polygamy. Right? Because think about it. Having sex, man, is actually an outlet for a man. It tells you that in Genesis, man, that through that sorrow there'd be much. We would multiply in conception. The woman would multiply in conception. Men only have so many outlets to release their anger in an oppressive time. And sex is something that that Eve even tries to keep us away from. So that's why he'll tell you more than one woman is going off. And then sometimes you'll actually even feel like it's going on, man, just because of how demonic and wicked the vibration of this world is. It says right here. Okay, now let me go ahead and get this. Again, by Fisher turned Hunter, Amos 9:11, Job 34:18. "Is it fit to say to a king thou art wicked, and to princes you're ungodly?" Because how are you going to accuse the elect, man, of going off when we're the only ones doing the best of our ability to keep our ways and our emotions and our thoughts in check? The world ain't doing that, man. The world is not. Man, they just keep on adding sin upon sin. They're fully diving in, fishing, and just spewing out evil and wickedness, man, and bad behavior. So how are you going to look at us? How are you going to call the Most High? And that's what I actually had right here. How are you going to? I had this right here, but this was actually for another lesson. But I got it. Let me say. Ezekiel 18:29, it says, "Yet saith the house of Israel, the way of the Lord is not equal. O house of Israel, are not my ways equal? Are not your ways unequal?" Like your measures of how things should be done is totally off, man. And not just to Israel, but to this whole world. The way that you determine how a man is allowed to live his life, it's funny because even these people will get as far as invading another man's life and telling him that he's wrong. This brother, man, up in Milwaukee made this. It was hilarious, but also on point comment. He said he'll say to his woman, "Tell me what I ate for breakfast, or tell me what I did tell me in the order I did them today. I ate breakfast, showered, and I ate breakfast, showered, and put my clothes on." I'll just say it like that. I can't remember what the other one he was. He was saying, you don't know if I How do you say? He's like, you don't know if I ate first, put my clothes on, then showered. You don't know if I showered first, put my clothes on, then ate. So if you had your way, you'd be telling me that what I was doing was the wrong way. Like no, you got to get up first. Hey, you don't eat breakfast, man. People are just fucking petty, man. And actually, the scriptures talk about it in Sirach. I want to say 17. Is either 17 or 19? It's 19. Sirach 19:1. A laboring man that is given to drunkenness shall not be rich, and he that contemneth small things shall fall by little and little. And that's why this place is going to fall, because people are so intrusive and invading, because they've grabbed onto the ways of Esau, that that's why this place is deteriorating, because they've actually made it to where anything you do could be a potential accusation against you. Okay? So, I mean, the lesson started out to talk about, just being wise, walking orderly, walking with a good head on your head, a good head on your shoulders, Salakia. All right? Actually, let me go to read this. Ephesians 5:16, redeeming the time because the days are evil. Wherefore be ye not unwise, but understanding what the will of the Lord is. And that's ultimately the end game too. Just understand the will of the Lord. Know that you got a job to do. All right. You can indulge yourself a little bit, because the word indulge just basically means to give yourself to that desire. There ain't nothing wrong with a little indulgence. Okay. Just today, look down upon. But just be wise about how you go about things. Be circumspect. Not all things are expedient. All things are lawful, yet not all things are expedient, man. So just watch. Just watch yourself is all. Not barking an order. I just thought about it, man, because again, man, when the believers of Yahweh Shem Yahshai show any type of emotion, man, you got to be careful, because this world will take it above and beyond, man. They'll go overboard with it. He showed some tears. Maybe you might have cried a couple of tears. Literally, they were like, man, he was balling. He got upset earlier. Man, he started throwing shit. He started cussing everybody. He got a gun. So, and really, it's just a bad reputation, a bad image, and you don't want that. So, which is really what we're working to be, right? We're working to be a nation of kings and priests. A king and priests are well composed. Okay, they've got their integrity intact, which is what we're doing, what we're rehearsing and trying to perfect, being well ordered and conducted and composed. All right, so just walk with that, man. Just for more wisdom. That's all I can say. But with that, I'm going to go ahead and end it. Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. I'm going to go ahead and say all glory, praise, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash, Barak Atham. Hey, the water for the comments out, helping me out to the spirit. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and much love, honors and blessings to the elect. All right, stand strong, keep on fighting, retain your integrity. And Yahweh Bashim Ashar Barakatham, Kwam Shalom.